When we talk politics, it's usually all about power. But let's flip the script. What about wealth? And we're not just talking flashy cars or gated mansions. We're talking billions. In this video, we're counting down the top 10 richest politicians in the Philippines in 2025. These folks aren't just lawmakers. They're tycoons, power players, and heirs to sprawling empires. Some were already deep in business before stepping into politics. Others, well, let's just say their fortunes skyrocketed once they got elected. And believe it or not, a few of them fly totally under the radar, quiet, almost invisible, but absolutely loaded.
So, who made the list? How did they amass their fortunes? Through legacy, smart deals, or political pull? And exactly how much are they really worth? Smash that subscribe button so you don't miss out, because we're diving deep. Now here's the thing, most politicians don't exactly line up to share their real net worth. So we crunched the numbers ourselves to give you a solid estimate of what they're working with in 2025. Let's get into it. The 10 richest politicians in the Philippines, 2025. Top of our list, the wealthiest politician in the Philippines in 2025 is none other than Cynthia Aguilar Villar. Now, don't let the title senator fool you. Cynthia Villar is much more than a public servant. She's the powerhouse matriarch behind one of the most dominant business empires in the country. Think Vistaland, All Home, Golden Haven, and a whole lot more. For decades, she's been at the heart of Philippine real estate, politics, and public life. But let's cut to the chase. Let's talk big money. Her husband, Manny Villar, former Senate president, has been officially crowned by Forbes as the richest Filipino in 2025, boasting a jaw-dropping net worth of 17.2 billion USD. That's about 984 billion pesos. Here's where it gets interesting. Under Philippine law, unless there's a prenup, married couples split their assets. And in the VR household, this isn't just a legal clause, it's a shared business empire. Cynthia hasn't just been along for the ride. She's been in the driver's seat since the beginning. A co-founder, not just the first lady of the boardroom. So let's do the math. Half of 984 billion pesos? That's a mind-blowing 492 billion pesos. And with that, Cynthia Villar officially takes the crown as the richest politician in the Philippines in 2025 by a landslide.
Coming in at number 2, it's the man who doesn't just lead the Philippines, he practically inherited it. We're talking about none other than President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Born into one of the most controversial political dynasties on the planet, Bongbong is the only son of former President Ferdinand Marcos Sr., the late strongman, and the iconic Imelda Marcos. As of 2025, he holds the top seat as President of the Republic, and many see him as the guardian of a massive, mysterious family fortune. Back in 2013, his official SALN, that's Statement of Assets, Liabilities, and Net Worth, claimed just 442 million pesos. But let's be real, that's barely scratching the surface. The Marcoses were already living in ultra-exclusive Forbes Park, where a single home averages around 1.5 billion pesos, long before they moved into Malacañang in 2022.
For decades, the Marcos family has been tied to billions in alleged hidden wealth, stashed across Swiss banks, U.S. real estate, shell corporations, and secretive trusts. The Philippine government has already recovered more than 170 billion pesos in assets, and experts say that's just a slice of the pie. Trusted outlets like Bloomberg and Rappler estimate the Marcos fortune at a staggering $10 to $13 billion USD. And now that Bongbong is back in power and sitting comfortably in Malacañang, most of that wealth remains untouched, locked away, and very likely still growing. So how much is Bongbong Marcos really worth? Even if he controls just 10% of that estimated family fortune, we're looking at a realistic 2025 net worth of around 56 billion pesos.
Sliding into the number 3 spot on our list is none other than Antonio Ernesto Anton Florendo Lagdamio Jr. But don't let the long name distract you. This guy is major. Anton Lagdamio isn't just a government official, he's the special assistant to the president and one of Bongbong Marcos's closest insiders. While he keeps a low profile in public, behind the scenes, he's pulling serious strings inside Malacañang. But Lagdamio didn't just climb his way up.
He was born into big money. Coming from the ultra-powerful Florendo family of Mindanao, his roots run deep. His family empire, the Anflo Group of companies, controls massive banana plantations, owns private jets, and holds major stakes across multiple industries. The company's success is estimated to be between 7 and 20 billion pesos, up in the billionaire territory. That makes the Florendo family the 5th richest family in the country.
Landing at number 4 on our list is Antonio Albi Benitez. And this guy is more than just a local politician. He's the current mayor of Bacolod City, and come 2025, he's headed back to Congress. But before stepping into politics, Albi was already making serious money. He struck gold through Bright Light Productions, media ventures, and the Philippine Gaming Management Corporation, PGMC, a major player supplying gaming tech to the PCSO. Translation: his fortune is built on gaming, real estate, and broadcasting, and it's massive. Benitez has always flown under the radar, known for his calm, pragmatic style, and for years he managed to stay out of the headlines. But that all changed recently. His legal wife filed for annulment, accusing him of womanizing and psychological abuse. Adding fuel to the fire? Rumors of a romantic link between Benitez and social media star Ivana Alawi, which instantly grabbed the public's attention. Still, drama aside, the man's bank account speaks volumes. As of May 2025, Albi Benitez officially declared a net worth of 18.83 billion pesos, securing a spot as one of the richest political figures in the country.
Coming in at number 5 is a name that might not make headlines every day, but it should: Ramon Guico Jr. A seasoned public servant, Guico is currently serving as the representative of Pangasinon's 5th District in the House. He also leads the League of Municipalities of the Philippines, earning widespread respect for his leadership, humility, and a scandal-free political career. Yep, no corruption, no drama, just results. And his constituents absolutely love him for it. But politics is only half the story. Behind the scenes, Ramon Guico Jr. is a serious business heavyweight. He runs the World City Group, a powerhouse conglomerate that spans healthcare, education, and even aviation. Think World City Medical Center in Quezon City, World City Colleges with campuses all over Luzon, and World City Aeronautical and Technological College, a top-tier flight school for future pilots and engineers. And it doesn't stop there. He also owns a highly profitable construction company that's behind major infrastructure projects across Luzon, including schools that directly benefit local communities. Despite his massive business empire, Guico keeps a low profile, choosing service over spotlight. But make no mistake, he's quietly built up a fortune. As of 2025, Ramon Guico Jr.'s estimated net worth is 15 billion pesos, earning him a well-deserved spot in the top 5 richest politicians in the Philippines. And that wraps up our countdown of the top 5. If you enjoyed the deep dive, hit that like button and stay tuned because we're just getting started. Coming in at number 6 is Ferdinand Martin Gomez Romualdez, but you probably know him better as Martin Romualdez, the current Speaker of the House of Representatives and a first cousin of President Bongbong Marcos Jr. He's been representing Leyte's 1st District for years, pushing through major legislation and steadily climbing the political ranks. But his rise hasn't exactly been smooth sailing. In early 2025, Romualdez was hit with serious allegations. He and other House leaders were accused of tampering with the national budget. We're talking about falsified documents and unauthorized projects worth a jaw-dropping 241 billion pesos. A formal graft and criminal complaint was even filed with the Office of the Ombudsman. And the controversy doesn't stop there. Romualdez also found himself in the middle of a political firestorm involving Vice President Sara Duterte playing a key role in her impeachment case. Critics say it's all part of a larger plan, possibly setting the stage for his own run for president in 2028.
Now, let's talk money, because it gets even more interesting. Back in 2015, Romualdez declared a net worth of 475 million pesos. Then, radio silence. he stopped updating the public on his finances. But in 2023, he made headlines again, this time for donating 112 million pesos to Harvard University. Yeah, you heard that right. That's not a donation you just casually write off. Even most billionaires don't go that big without making waves. So naturally, people started asking, how rich is this guy really? According to philanthropy experts at Indiana University's Lilly Family School, ultra-wealthy donors typically give about 1% of their total net worth to causes like this. If that holds true, it means Romualdez's real wealth could be north of 11.2 billion pesos.
At number 7, we've got Mikey Romero, a lawmaker with serious business muscle behind the suit and tie. Romero isn't just another congressman. He represents the One Pac-Man Party list and previously held the influential role of deputy speaker during the 18th Congress. But what really sets him apart is his wealth and where it comes from. In 2020, he declared a net worth of 6.5 billion pesos. But that's just the starting point. Mikey Romero is a business powerhouse. He's the chairman of Global Port 900, a major player in port operations. He owns big shares in logistics companies, real estate ventures, and even AirAsia Philippines. And these aren't slow-moving legacy businesses, they're cash machines that have grown hand in hand with the Philippine economy. His ports handle enormous cargo traffic. His real estate has skyrocketed in value. And with travel bouncing back post-pandemic, his airline investments are soaring too.
In high-growth sectors like these, it's typical for net worth to increase around 6% a year, quietly, consistently, and without the need for flashy headlines. Do the math, and by 2025, Romero's wealth climbs to an estimated 8.7 billion pesos. He's not loud, he's not controversial, but Mikey Romero is definitely one of the stealthiest billionaires in Philippine politics, and he's just getting started. Next up, we've got a tie at number 8. Two powerful names, two nearly identical fortunes. And because of this rare deadlock, there's no number 9 on this list. First up in the tie, Emeline Aglipay Villar. Emeline's a former congresswoman who represented the Diwa party list and later stepped into a major role at the Department of Justice during the Duterte administration, serving as both undersecretary and acting secretary. She's also a strong voice for women's rights and people with disabilities.
But what really put her in the spotlight? Her marriage to Senator Mark Villar, son of none other than Manny Villar, the richest man in the Philippines. That union didn't just make headlines, it connected her to a dynasty worth billions. The Villar family runs a massive business empire that spans real estate, retail, and banking. Even without running the show directly, being in the family means Emeline has access to high-value investments, compounding assets, and a growing wealth portfolio, on top of her own income from law, politics, and consulting. Back in 2017, she reported a net worth of 1.4 billion pesos. Since then, total silence. No updates, no disclosures. But if we apply the same 17.4% annual growth rate that Forbes used to track Manny Villar's rise from $5.6 billion in 2018 to $17.2 billion in 2025, Emeline's net worth could easily have grown to 4.31 billion pesos by now. Also tied at number 8, her husband, Senator Mark Villar. Mark isn't just a sitting senator. Before joining the Senate in 2022, he served as the Secretary of Public Works and Highways, where he was the face of Duterte's massive build infrastructure push. But politics is only half the story. As one of many Villar's 3 heirs, Mark stands to inherit a huge chunk of the Villar fortune. That includes stakes in Vistaland, Allhome, and various banking and retail ventures. So, using that same 17.4% yearly growth rate, Mark Villar's 2025 net worth also lands at around 4.31 billion pesos, right in line with Emeline's. 2 names, 2 fortunes, 1 powerful political couple. And finally, rounding out our list at number 10, is Julio Ledesma IV. A veteran in politics, Ledesma served multiple terms as the representative of Negros Occidental's 1st District, earning a reputation as a steady and seasoned public figure. But politics is just one part of his story. Ledesma comes from a wealthy and influential family in Negros, with deep roots in both the political and business scenes. While he's mostly stepped out of the national spotlight in recent years, his legacy and his fortune continued to grow quietly behind the scenes. Back in 2015, he declared a net worth of 1 billion pesos, and since then, nothing. No updates, no headlines, just total silence. But here's the thing, wealth like his doesn't just sit still. Coming from one of the most powerful clans in Negros, Ledesma's assets include sugar plantations, vast tracts of land, and low-profile businesses that have continued to thrive. In industries like agriculture, landholding, and passive investments, a conservative 6% annual growth rate is totally realistic.
So fast forward a decade, run the numbers, and you're looking at an estimated $1.8 billion net worth in 2025. Quiet, steady, and still firmly in the ranks of the Philippines' richest politicians. From inherited fortunes to low-key business empires, these are the billionaires shaping Philippine politics, not just through laws, but with deep pockets and deeper influence. Some keep a low profile, others own the spotlight. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the hidden fortunes behind political power, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share with your friends. Now, we want to hear from you. Do these billion peso fortunes raise any red flags? Or is this just how success plays out in Philippine politics? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We're ready for the conversation. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.